Today we are going to spice up our brains with additional system of coplanar vectors or coplanar force. If you didn't watch my last video, don't cry. This video will still hold your hand and explain everything. So sit right, grab some popcorn and let's play with forces. I took one vector and gave it a cool name F because every force needs a stylish name, right? This vector is a drama king. It breaks into two pieces. One runs along x-axis and the other runs along the y-axis. Teamwork, baby, teamwork. The one who runs along x-axis, we called him fx, and that one who dances along y-axis, we proudly name fy. Simple family. In one word, a vector is like a biscuit, always break into two pieces, one for x-axis and one for y-axis. So we can retain as the definition: when a vector force resolved into two components along x-axis and y-axis, then the components are called rectangular components. Are you okay? In the last lecture, we saw that if two vectors are given, we can find their resultant. But today, life is little opposite. If only one vector is given, then we will break into two small babies called component or called rectangular component by book knowledge. So final definition is: when a vector force resolved into two components along x-axis and y-axis, then the component are called rectangular component. Okay? Now this concept we can cut into two pieces. First one is scalar notation and second one is Cartesian vector notation. Simple, just like cutting a mango into two pieces. Anyway, this is Morning Das. Everyone called me Morning Sir, but you call me Morning Bro. At first, we will talk about scalar notation and then we will move to the very important vector Cartesian notation, which is our main hero. I hope you will understood everything till here. If I ask you, now can we write f vector equal to fx vector plus fy vector? You tell me, yes sir, we can write it. Why? Because we already learned in the lecture number 1 the addition law, vector addition law, like triangle law, parallelogram law, everything. Tell me now, what's the magnitude of the f vector? Simple answer, it's just f. No drama, no extra topping, just f. Similarly, magnitude value of fx vector equal to fx and magnitude value of y vector is fy. In scalar notation, along the x-axis, we can written as fx equal to f cos theta. In the lecture number 1, we already talked, remember, whenever theta is sitting, cos also comes and shite like best friend. Whenever theta is not sitting, sine will comes running and say, don't worry bro, I will take care. So simple rule, theta with cos, no theta with sine, easy peasy, no tension. So student, how did I write this? You are thinking, right? Okay, I will prove it in front of you, don't panic. I am not a magician, I am just use a simple triangle ABC. Okay student, in this triangle, the base is AB, right? And the hypotenuse is AC. Very good. Now tell me quickly, what is the cos theta? You will say cos theta equal to base by hypotenuse, that means AB by AC. This is cos theta is equal to fx by f. Here the boom, fx equal to f cos theta. Simple like eating biryani. Very tasty. Those who missed my earlier theory class, please go and watch lecture number 1. And also lecture number 2, we already solved some fundamental problem. Don't be lazy, go and check them. Oh yes, similarly we can written as if y equal to f sin theta because theta is not attached along the y-axis. This proof you guys will do yourself. I already showed you the cos proof. Now the sine proof you will do. Don't be lazy. Here the value of BC vector will become Fy because it's equal. Simple logic like two friends who always bunk class together. Now, my dear student, I will show you an equation of similar triangles. Inside the section, in the lower half, there is a big triangle, and inside that big triangle, we will make a teeny baby triangle like triangle family. Okay, folks, let's take the three side lengths of the triangle and name them A, B, and C. Yes, I know, not apple, banana, and coconut, just plain A, B, C. Now we are going to compare the big triangle and the small triangle. And guess what? We will also compare the ratio of their size. Yes, not like comparing biryani size with chicken size. Strictly triangle concept. According to the law of similar proportion, we already know one big truth of life. The ratio of the sides of the big triangle is the equal to the ratio of the side of small triangle. Yes, triangle are very fair people. No cheating, no corruption. They always keep proportion like honest shopkeeper. We can written as for the big triangle hypotenuse, that is f, divided by base, that is fx, is equal to in the small triangle comparing the side base by hypotenuse, that is a, and hypotenuse c. That means fx by f equal to a by c. That is fx equal to f become right side in multiplication. So fx equal to f into a by c. I think you will understood. Okay, thank you. If you want to watch all this lecture, go to my YouTube playlist. I already made one playlist for the vector chapter with 80 lecture. Oh yes, 80. Everything you need is there, ready to being watch like Netflix, or watch just for search YouTube Vector Engineering Mechanics by India International Mechanics, and boom, you will find my channel. Easy peasy, no tension. Similarly, comparing the two triangle, we written as Fy equal to f into b by c. Okay, I think you will understand. But remember always one thing: positive and negative side. Here positive side because according to our drawing, we take the axis like positive x-axis and negative x-axis. Vector direction, my friend. Suppose the head of the vector points downward and tail is also upward, then which axis will it hug? Yep, positive x-axis and negative y-axis. In that case you will say Fy equal to minus f into b by c, minus f, where Fy, because y is negative. Alright folk, that was the scalar notation concept. Now let's move on the Cartesian vector notation, the real superstar of vector. Get ready, it's about to get fancy and fun. From the parallelogram rule, we know that f vector equal to fx vector plus fy vector. It's like saying team fx plus team y equal to superhero f. Simple, magical, very satisfying. I want to write the f vector as a summation of some scalar magnitude, but it's impossible. We can't write it. Spoiler alert, it does not work like that. No shortcut, no magic. Only proper vector addition will do. So what I do? I mean to say, we cannot written as f vector equal to scalar part f cos theta plus f sin theta, because f cos theta and f sin theta is the component. But we can't written. Why? Question mark is why? Because of left hand side is vector, right hand side is scalar. So this sentence is wrong. But I want to write vector equal to summation of scalar magnitude. How it's possible? Think and guess and comment section. Now in the left hand side we wrote a vector, but right hand side we write only magnitude, no direction, that is scalar. So now I have to change it vector so I can attach direction. To represent the x-axis direction, we call our superhero I cap. Since I cap is the unit vector along the x-axis, I will simply tag it along with the scalar quantity. Like giving the scalar is a school scooter on the right, now it's officially become vector. Similarly, we can written as plus f sin theta j cap for the y axis. Now we have attached a direction to the scalar magnitude. That means it's not just a number anymore, it has a direction too. That is I cap for x axis, j cap for y axis. I cap is the unit vector along the x axis, meaning it point in the x direction. You have a scalar hanging around x, nothing special happen until you attach I cap. The boom, the lonely scalar suddenly becomes a proper vector because now it has a direction to show off I cap, j cap, etc. And similarly for j cap but along the y axis. I want to understand you. If cos theta and if sin theta just a scalar quantity, they have magnitude only, no direction at all. They are like superheroes without I cap, j cap. But now if we attach I cap and j cap respectively, then suddenly this scalar get a directional along their magnitude. If line giving a superhero, not just a muscle but also funny cap, now they can show off their power in the right direction, so it's vector. So we can written as now f vector equal to, look, f cos theta means fx, f sin theta means fy, that is f vector equal to fx I cap plus fy j cap. F sin theta equal to y, so fy j cap. Remember, only fx and fy is scalar, but fx I cap is vector, fy j cap is scalar, vector. Sorry, if I ask you what is the magnitude value of vector f, you can say just do modulus. Mod value of f vector equal to f. How to find the magnitude of a vector? Take the coefficient of I cap, j cap, square them like they are in a math gym, and them up, and then take the square root. Boom, there your vector mod value. Let's do a slightly tricky example, student. We have three vectors, so grab your imaginary pens and draw all three following my drawing instruction. First start with f1, the leader of the vectors, and then f2 and f3 continue. Same fun style too according to my drawing. And of course, don't forget to draw the x-axis and y-axis too. Otherwise, your vector will feel lost like superhero without a city to save. Write plus x, plus y, minus x and minus y. Okay. First, I am underlining this spot because here we will mark the component of f1 vector. You guys do it same. Don't be lazy. Let's give f1 its proper stage of sign. Already we learned from this lecture component along x-axis of f1 vector. What? Comment and like. Fx, but direction will be attached, so fx I cap, component of f1 along x-axis equal to fx I cap, but your notation is f1 vector, so f1x I cap is must, otherwise it will be scalar. Fx is scalar but I cap join, so now it's become vector, and notation 1 because it's give f1 vector. So component of x-axis what? f1x I cap. Similarly, component according to y-axis what f1y j cap, because along the y axis means unit vector j cap. Okay, so we can write f1 vector equal to f1x I cap plus f1y j cap. It's lying saying team m1x I cap plus team f1y j cap superhero now fully dresses with the direction. Similarly, we can written as f2 vector. f2 vector equal to which area? Look, this area, negative x-axis. That means negative f2x, component is fx, notation is 2, f2x I cap, but component of y is positive, x negative, but y going to the positive direction. That is plus j cap, that is f2y and direction is j cap. I think you understand. Similarly, f3 equal to spot the area at first and look which is positive, which is negative. This area, negative y axis but positive x axis. That means fx is positive, fx I cap plus fy minus fy j cap, and notation is 3 because of f3 vector. So we have to addition 3 vector f1, f2, f3. Then we will get the resultant vector fr. That is fr equal to what? fr vector equal to f1 vector plus f2 vector plus f3 vector. Vector addition rule na? 2 or more than vector is available, then just addition. That means f1 vector equal to, fr vector equal to, fr means resultant, equal to f1 vector plus f2 vector plus f3 vector. Now, how do we addition f1, f2 and f3? Don't worry. Take all the coefficient of I cap, add them and attach I cap of the sum. Same, all the coefficient of j cap and add them up. Then attach j cap to the sum, like giving the number of VIP pass, so they can officially become a vector. So now we can written as fr vector equal to, look, all coefficient of x-axis means summation of all f-axis coefficient. This is what? Coefficient of x-axis, all the component. Then we written as frx. frx means summation of all coefficient of I cap. fry means summation of all the coefficient along y. This is the resultant vector equal to frx vector plus fry vector. Obviously, I cap and j cap attach, otherwise it will be scalar. Now it's okay, vector vector. Clear? So don't need to vector sign because I cap and j cap already there. And this is called Cartesian vector notation, the full concept of this content. Let's assume that vector, resultant vector, is going to the follow this path all the way to the resultant vector. Think of it like a little superhero running through the Abscales course joining to the main team and makes angle theta with respect to x-axis. Then the direction of the resultant equal to theta equal to tan inverse height by base. Height means component of y-axis, that is fry, summation of all component in y-axis divided by summation of all component of x-axis, that is rx, frx. Thank you. Awesome.